Welcome to part 5 of The Narrow Gate. Thanks for coming back. I really hope that you're getting something out of this. I hope and pray that I am somehow being a light to someone somewhere. And I hope you're learning truths about Jesus, about his life, about his journey, about who he is, who he was, who he will ever be, because he changes not. And this is The Narrow Gate, part 5, September 13th. 2024 by man's calendar. And I want to get on back into this word because we were discussing Jesus and how he talked to the people. And I want to recap verse 31, starting at verse 31 of chapter 13 of Luke, so that I can make this point. The same day there came certain of the Pharisees, saying to him, "Get you out and depart from here." Now this is the Pharisees warning him that Herod's going to kill him. And he says, they say to him, get you out and depart from here, for Herod will kill you. Which means Herod wants to kill you. And he said to them, go you and tell that fox, behold, I cast out devils, which means demons, and I do cures today and tomorrow, and the third day I shall be perfect. That means he heals. He does cures. He heals. So in other words, he's going to do it anyway. He didn't care if Herod did come after him. This is the attitude we got to have, that we're going to do God's will even if the devils come after us. I'm not afraid of devils. What are they going to do? Jesus will knock them in their head. They're going to be locked in chains anyway. I ain't worried about them. I come to put them in chains, in fact, and they're going into hell. I come to bind them on earth. I was born for such a time as this. What was you born for? Are you going to serve the Lord? Or are you going to serve Satan? Now, getting on into this. Nevertheless, now this is still Jesus talking to them. Nevertheless, I must walk today and tomorrow and the day following, for it cannot be that a prophet perish out of Jerusalem. It cannot be that a prophet perish out of Jerusalem. In other words, he was going to do these things, but he was going to keep walking and going through, passing through. He was going to keep on trucking as he went. He was going to do these things because he couldn't allow himself to be taken and killed there in Jerusalem, because a prophet could not perish in Jerusalem. Somebody tried to tell me that we all had to be over there one day. Trying to tell me, based on this scripture now, that we all had to be over if we was prophets before we could die, that we had to be in Jerusalem to do it. No, that's not what that means. That means that we can't die in Jerusalem. Nevertheless, I must walk today and tomorrow, and the day following. For it cannot be that a prophet perish out of Jerusalem. That means that you can't die inside of Jerusalem. They killed them all over the countryside except for right in Jerusalem. Oh, Jerusalem. Now listen, he's still talking to them. Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, which killeth the prophets and stones them that are sent to you. How often would I gather you, children, together, as a hen doeth gather her brood under her wings, and you would not. Oh, yeah, it's coming. High up in the heaven. Whoops, sorry, wrong spot. High up on a mountain stood a man with his head bowed low, and tears streaming down his face, just like his heart was broke. Looking over that city with all its shining lights, these words you hear so loud and clear out in the still dark night. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, how often would I gather you underneath my wings, like a mother hen would gather her young, but you would not hear my cry. No, you would not hear my cry. High up in the heavens, sitting on his throne, making intercession for his very own. But still you will not listen, just like you did back then. He cries unto Jerusalem, but his tears are still in vain. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, how often would I gather you underneath my wings, like a mother hen would gather her young, but you would not hear my cry. No, you would not hear my cry. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, how often would I gather you underneath my wings, like a mother hen would gather her young, but you would not hear my cry. No, you would not hear my cry. When are you going to hear the Lord's cry, Jerusalem? When are you going to hear the Lord's cry? Now, to recap verse 34. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, which kills the prophets and stones them that are sent to you. How often would I gather you? How often would I gather your children together as a hen does gather her brood under her wings, and you would not. Even here in America, the Lord sends you prophets. And just like in Jerusalem, you will not hear his cry. Behold, your house is left to you desolate. And let's look at just a quick second so that you understand. That means alone and empty, to be sure that you understand what desolate means in that particular place. And verily I say to you, you shall not see me until the time come when, pay attention, this is when we're going to see the Lord. When you shall say, blessed, which means divinely favored, blessed is he that comes in the name of the Lord. I came to you in the name of the Lord. You did not say these things. Others have come to you in the name of the Lord. You're still not saying these things. But highly favored are they indeed, divinely favored are they indeed that come in the name of the Lord. And they speak truth with all men, and lie not, because that's what is written. And if you're not doing these things, then you are not doing God's will. You're not speaking truth with all men. If you're not loving your neighbor as yourself, if you're not loving God more than others, and above all else, and putting him first, you're not doing the will of God. And I have completed the first chapter of Luke that I wanted to cover, which was chapter 13. And tomorrow I will try to get on into chapter 14 of Luke. Don't get your cart ahead of your horse. You never know the way the Spirit may move on this. So I will see you again in the morning, hopefully, by the grace of the Lord's will, to at least get a few of chapter 14 of Luke. But I'm going to go ahead and try to get some of these up, and then I got to get some rest. So I will see you as soon as possible so we can finish the narrow gate. I love you. So I tell you the truth, even sternly, because I braid a rope. Love you.